Beehive Sports Podcast is powered by Swing Juice. Visit swingjuice.com. 20% off your order. Use promo code Beehive20 for your golf and MLBPA apparel. Today is episode 4, season 2. We're going to do a little local rundown, throw some shout outs. Going to get into opening day of the MLB and the Masters. Going to talk the Diggs mega deal and how the dominoes continue falling with that. And this week in sports history, we got 3 fast facts about the Masters since it is Masters Day. Steady on, we have LeBron reclaiming the crown for biggest douche. Took it back from Brady. Sketty's going to go on about that. And the things that sting, Hope Solo arrested. Alex Carrington, former Buffalo Bill defensive lineman, arrested. MLB handing down some suspensions for PEDs like normal. And then we got about 4 or 5 more stories for the rundown. And then in the My Hive segment, we're going to get into the biggest scandals in sports history. And I got a lot of good feedback on that post, so we'll have a lot to talk about. Let's go.
Welcome to the Beehive Sports Podcast. Here are your hosts, Joe and Sketty.
The Buzz is brought to you by Busch Light. Latte aluminum's available wherever you buy your beer. I had several of them last weekend. Delicious as always. We're going to not go with the Ricky Bobby promotion of Busch Light this week, but I will say that if you don't like Busch Light, you're more than likely like one of those people who says they like cats more than dogs.
Weirdos.
Yeah, exactly. They are weirdos.
Yeah.
So I thought we were going to get some good weather here, Sketty, and we could have got out on the course, but that has turned into sideways rain the past couple days.
Yeah.
Not great.
Looking like snow this weekend. Great.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Cold enough, I think. Last I saw it was like 30s this weekend.
I didn't look at the weather, but I don't like that. I was able to get out on the range. I did do that. I think I told you, hit my driver really well. And every iron was just Squeezer City. So that's a great start. Things are looking good. Well,
high handicapper, you know. It's early in the year. Plenty of time to bring it around.
Yeah, that's the idea of, but I am pulling up the weather here because I want to see if there's snow coming up this weekend. Because that would, Sunday.
Yep.
Perfect.
I thought it was going to spit a little bit.
But then in the 70s a couple days next week, so that's good.
Hopefully we get nice,
well, men's night is next Thursday, correct?
Correct. Yep.
So, that reminds me. While we're on that subject, tell everybody day of the week is going to be changing. We're not sure to what yet, but it's going to start next week. But I think we're going Monday, right?
Yeah, I think that's what we're
maybe not
right now.
Maybe not this coming week, but soon after. It's going to be probably permanent Mondays going through summer. Is that the plan?
Yeah. Can't interfere with golf season.
Well, it can't. You're right. So Mondays will be podcast night, I think. But we'll keep everybody in the loop on that for sure. Where are we going to start here? We got Darren, and he's in the comments already. Happy opening day, Masters Day, boys. Yeah, you too, Darren. And congrats to you on the tournament bracket win. We had, I think, like 10 or 11 brackets, which wasn't a ton, but, I didn't really push it too much either. But it was the first one we did, so now we can move, each year kind of make that grow. So Darren's prize pack, not complete yet. I'm work because we got to get we do have golf towels in the works. So Darren's getting a shirt, a golf towel, and a limit. I don't want to say a limited edition, but I will because there's only 12 being made currently. Beehive Sports Podcast hat. So he'll get one of them, and then I think we'll throw some beer in there too after he shows proof of ID that he is over the age of 21. But yeah, congrats, stat guy. Stat guy Darren killed it. Had Kansas winning it all, and they carried him the whole way. So that was good.
Yeah.
Another shout out to Mo.
Yeah.
Andrew
win?
Big Mo Morrison, head coach Warren Baseball, gets his first win, defeating Erie 3-2. That was earlier in the week. As the week progressed, he took his first lumping too.
You told me. I didn't see this one.
No, yeah, it was Harbor Creek 18-3, a loss against Harbor Creek. They were up 3-0 in the top of the first, but then gave up 13 in the bottom of the first.
Yikes.
So, but that's good. That's experience. He needs that. Like you got to you take your wins. Yeah, you got to take your thumping, and then you can learn to progress and try and not allow that to happen again. Because that, but to lighten the blow on Mo, Eisenhower lost yesterday 17-2 against Rocky Grove.
Okay.
Bad day for the county.
Baseball teams look. Yeah, well, not a lot of practice. There hasn't been any good weather to practice.
That's
I'm going
true.
to chalk it up to that.
I will. I'll go with that.
They're rusty.
They're rusty. Yeah, and Rocky Grove's down south, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's basically Florida.
So they've been playing year round. So unfair advantage. Harbor Creek and Erie, they probably got a dome that they're playing in all the time. Probably playing it family first. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but they take their lumps, but it's all about how you bounce back. That's what they say. So I have faith in Mo, and I think he'll get everybody on the right track, especially when the good weather comes. And they, like you said, because that is true. If you think about it, they haven't had the ability to go outside very much. So we'll keep an eye on it, though. I actually have an idea for Brian Hagberg too that I don't want to put out over the air, but I need something where I can go like not to the minute, but like say each day. It's like this is Warren's schedule. Here's the results, maybe a few stat lines, like rather than just a story as well. But like, how, like, do you have the Score, that app?
No.
Oh, I have an app called The Score, and it's awesome because it's like a live scoreboard on your phone, and then you click it and you can go to any league, you can go to any team roster, like you can do it all, and it's to the minute. I don't need that for local sports, but I need something.
Yeah.
So we gotta get. I'm gonna get on Hagberg about that. And while we're on the local talk, did you see the newspaper today about?
I did not. No, it's Masters Day. I've seen nothing.
That's true. True story. Hold on. I'm going to read the text that. Where's that? Right here. So a funny football story happened. In my opinion, it's funny. Sketty doesn't like it. He just hasn't admitted it yet. And we're going to get to that in the buzz, actually, when we talk about Diggs. But I text him because I hadn't heard from him in a few hours, which is actually kind of strange. I almost called in a welfare check on Sketty because I was like, he's got to be dead if he's not texting me back by now. And I send him the football story, and I go, now I know why I can't get a hold of you. You're crying somewhere in a corner. And he texts me back, imagine thinking I care about football when Tiger in the red. When Tiger is in the red. That's a good. That one made me laugh. So anyways, the local thing. Some guys are like trying to get a disc golf course put in.
Okay.
I don't hate the idea. I've never played Frisbee, and actually I'm fucking terrible at throwing one.
Yeah, I'm not good.
I don't have those dainty wrists to be able to flick a Frisbee real well. I just can't throw them. I don't know. Probably if I practiced enough, but I just don't. But anyways, disc golf, I don't hate it. I have nothing against it. And I think if they got something like that here, if it works and draws people in to come play it, cool. I don't care. That's fine. That's good for the area. What I don't like is they're talking about Betts Park as their spot. Where the hell are they going to put it?
Yeah, that seems kind of a weird spot for it. I mean,
well, I don't know that much
about disc golf. Like, yeah, it seems like disc golf, like the courses that I've seen, are like
they're long,
crazy videos online. Yeah, like they're long and like usually have some sort of woods component to them. So it's kind of like the golf course where you got to like work the disc around a little bit. I just doesn't seem like you could do much there, but I don't know enough about it to say that that's good or bad. Yeah, I don't know. Doesn't seem like there would be enough space.
Darren says, TBSP disc golf outing. Let's go. I'll guarantee I'll lose. I can't throw one. But anyways, somebody who's on the Parks and Rec committee suggested Mulberry Park, which I think would be a good idea. Because it's not used for
I don't know which one Mulberry is.
Mulberry, it's like between Glade and Frank.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Coming up Conowongo. But yeah, I think I just don't like bets because I would assume that the area they're looking at is where youth play 60 flag football and the adult flag football league is played because it doesn't get the use throughout, but it's like summertime. Yeah. I don't know when it's mostly fall that the football leagues are done there, but what are we going to do? Like run around a giant post in the middle of the field that you catch a disc? Like it just doesn't work for me. So I'm going to keep an eye on that and see how it progresses. Cause I don't usually get like too involved in any of that stuff, but if it comes down to it, I will complain if they're trying to take over that area. I don't like that. Darren says Mulberry a bit too wide open. True, but go back to what another thing we just saw recently in the area was that they're running out of places to plant trees. So plant some trees, Mulberry Park, build your course, 2 birds.
Yep.
I should run this town.
Absolutely. Joe B's for mayor.
Yeah, problem solving left and right, but it just seems I just wasn't a fan of that. All right, let's get to the good stuff though. We have breaking news. The Pirates officially do have a checkbook. We discovered this today. They sign let me get the details here. And actually I didn't even write his name down. And Darren, hold on, I gotta look at this. This is another funny text from earlier. Darren sent me the screenshot of that, and I just wrote back, who the fuck is Cabrian Hayes? Darren said he's in the running for Rookie of the Year in like 2020. I think he's had some injuries and stuff, but I definitely had no clue who that guy was. And then chalk it up to I never watched the Pirates. Baseball for me isn't a sport that I very often watch anything but my team.
Right.
Like if the Astros are on, I watch. If it's anybody else, I truly don't care until probably the playoffs. Then I would watch some games, but I can't just, and it's not that I don't, because another thing I don't like is when people are like, baseball's boring. And then other people are like, you just don't understand it. Like that whole gist of things, like I cannot like something and somebody else can like it, and that's okay. I don't have to argue with them about that. Yeah.
Yep.
And I love baseball, but I don't love it enough to watch the Pirates. Like just on a it's Wednesday night, I'm kicking back watching TV. Oh, the Bucks are on. No.
I'm surprised Pirates fans like baseball enough to watch the Pirates.
They go through the cycle. The each year cycle of they suck. We get to spring training. We'll see what happens. And they'll play well till around the All-Star break. Like they string them along. Yeah. And then All-Star break comes and they'll win 20 games the rest of summer. That's just how they roll.
Well, poor Pirates fans.
Well, I think Kuz said he said if you didn't love me when we won, or love us when we won 45 games, don't love us when we win 72.
yeah. I saw that. I got a good chuckle out of that.
Yeah, that's a good one. But anyways, back to the checkbook. 8 years, $70 million, which is the biggest contract in Pirates history. Okay.
Okay.
It breaks the record of Jason Kendall's 6-year, $60 million contract that was signed in the year 2000. So
25 years later, here we are.
Pirates really must see something in this guy. I think that it's either It's either that or they were just so tired of getting made fun of that they were like, you know what, let's just pay one of these. Who's it going to be? Like draw names out of a hat?
How long till they trade him?
Well, it's an 8-year deal, so I would assume by at least year 3. I think they'll keep him a few. And then, he'll probably end up working out. He's good. Best player on the team.
Yep.
And then it's like draft pick city come the trade deadline. They're going to ship him to the Yankees, and then it'll be done.
Yeah, okay. I can buy that.
And then in the year 2050, so season 26, episode 4, Beehive Sports Podcast, we'll talk about the new contract that they just signed somebody to that broke the 2022 record for Cabrian Hayes. I have to read his name. I don't even know it.
Poor Pirates fans.
They literally, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sad day, but maybe it's they're on the upswing. I mean, I remember Munch talking about the GM and the way he's handling things, and he liked it. So I don't know. Maybe he's on to something. Maybe this is the steps in the right direction. But it's been a while. So yeah, big day, big weekend, as Darren said. Masters Day, opening day of baseball today. A lot going on in the sports world. 2 rainouts in the early in the games already today. I looked at that as soon as I woke up. I was like, oh, they had 2 postponed already. Be Yankees, Red Sox, Twins, Mariners, both rained out. So at around 3:30, there was only 1 game being played, and it was I think Cubs. No. Yeah, Cubs Brewers. Cubs Brewers were on. So I turned that on, and then I quickly remembered the Masters was on, and I turned it off and went to the Masters. Yeah, it didn't.
I was just gonna say, who the hell was watching that instead of Tiger? People that have tickets for that game were probably on their phones watching Tiger, going, yeah, baseball. Who gives a shit? Tiger.
It's the first game, yeah. People. Yeah. But anyways, the funny thing that I thought was Fox Sports app. Like I get push notifications from them, at 3:30. So we have 2 rainouts and we have 1 game being played. I get a push notification that says top moments from MLB opening day.
They actually played. That was the top moment.
Swing and a miss. Fox Sports app. Because it was. Oh, and the game was 1-0 at that point. So there was literally nothing. No top moment. There's nothing. And the run, which I actually did see, was Lorenzo Cain hit I was going to call it a screamer, but in a sarcastic way. But he basically hits it off the end of the bat. It trickles to first base, and the guy scored from third when they got him out at first. It was nothing. No excitement. Yeah, it was bad. But no, it is cool. Baseball's back. The Astros are on tonight, so I'll probably tune into that with the shared MLB TV account that I use, because I used to get extra innings and I don't anymore. I don't know. It's just, I'm not home enough, and they're rotating schedules and stuff. It's easier just to have it on your phone and be able to do what you want with it.
Yeah, for sure. Yep.
So on to the Masters.
The sport with the white ball that matters today. Yes.
I thought that finally. I really thought you would have a green jacket on today for some reason.
If I had a green jacket, I would have one on for sure. Like this is this is the coolest day of the year. But it's usually the coolest week of the year. But with Tiger back after his whatever it was 18-month layoff, like it was just awesome. And he looked really, really good for like 6 holes. He looked like Tiger. And then he kind of played like dog shit down the stretch. But
still finished 1 under for the day.
1 under and played like dog shit. Yeah, I mean, he had a birdie putt on 5. I was at work and somehow contained myself from screaming so the whole restaurant didn't hear me. But I was out back watching, and he looked like he buried this putt, and it just lipped out, and I almost gave it the big, motherfucker. Well, I held it in, though. Kept it in check, but I thought it was buried.
For all the early dinner goers, the
Yeah, it was
senior
like lunchtime.
clientele.
All the refinery guys would have heard. All the shutdown workers would have said, "What's going on back there?" That Tiger's playing. Don't worry about it.
They know.
Then he threw absolute dart on six. Absolute dart on six. Made birdie there, and 8 kind of fell apart a little bit. That's when the wheels started to come off. I think he had like 6 greens in a row he didn't hit. 80 was like 50 yards away and just left it 10 yards short and just was chipping like shit. His putter saved him a little bit. But long story short, he didn't play well today. He's 1 under. He's in contention. If his body can hold up, I think he can bring this thing around. I think he can actually win the whole thing. At the very least, be competing on Sunday if his body holds up. Which, there was kind of the negative to it is watching him bend over to read putts. Like normally Tiger's down in the crouch, reading these things, and he's it looks like he's 85 years old. The leg has to really be bothering him,
leaning over like this.
Yeah, he's bent over, but man, he just couldn't get down there. So we'll see how the body holds up. Looks like he made some tired swings later on in the day. Oh yeah, Tiger wasn't
Scott
the only
says,
one to drop it.
Don't forget the F-bomb Tiger dropped on live TV today. And then Cameron Smith was the one I told you about that was 6 under and just launches one into the trees, and you could just hear him right as soon as the ball takes flight. He goes, "Shit."
Yep. Well, I had shut it off when I called you, and he was 6 under at that point. They were talking how good he looked after he started with a double bogey, and then he finished at 4 under, which the guy's never missed a cut at the Masters. He's playing well. See what happens, but Tiger's F-bomb I believe was on 9 after he hit the tee shot that was one of my famous lines when we were golfing. Holy shit, that's so bad it's good, because he hooked it so far left. He was on the left side of the trees under him, was able to get up and down for a par, but he hit it and just dropped the fuck just immediately. And then I don't know if you saw it. Did you see when he drop kicked the driver? He literally hit the ground first. Oh yeah, it was bad. It was ugly.
No, I didn't.
It was ugly. That was he gave the come on Tiger. That was a good one.
I saw. I did see his putt. He drained to go 1 under. Long putt. It was a nice putt. Yep. Crowd was excited.
He easily could have been, 3 under today without any problem. He just kind of blew it a little bit.
Well, he's hanging up
it's
there,
exciting. It's exciting. Tiger famously he just does not play. He never shoots a low score on Thursday at the Masters. It's just not what he does. So, we were talking yesterday. A couple of buddies of mine said, if he comes in around 70, he's going to have a real good chance. He shot 71. So, again, we'll just see how the body holds up. See if he has the conditioning to win this thing. Or at least compete, I guess I should say.
Did you place any bets on the Masters or no?
I didn't do any bets. No, I put in a DraftKings lineup, and my team is dog shit. I did take Tiger. Had to take Tiger. But I took Tommy Fleetwood, who's 3 over. Justin Thomas is 4 over. Just wasn't a good day for me. I guess Zalatoris. I took Zalatoris, the guy a couple years ago that everyone said looked like Happy Gilmore's caddy.
Yeah.
He's 3 under. Or Tiger Woods. Yeah, Happy. Yeah. He's 3 under. So that was good. The leaderboard's kind of interesting right now. I'm watching it while we're doing this. Dustin Johnson's up there. He's been playing pretty well. I'll tell you, Scotty Scheffler played really well, and he's on a heater. He's won 3 of his last 5 tournaments. He just, hit some really, really nice shots today. So I think he'll be down there competing. Danny Willett's 3 under. He's won this tournament before. So it's setting up to be an interesting weekend. The weather's supposed to go to shit tomorrow. The winds are supposed to really kick up.
Didn't it get delayed today?
They were saying, I think just a little bit. Yeah, they got some rain.
A half hour.
The greens were pretty receptive. Yeah, there was the announcers early were surprised that there wasn't a lot of scoring going on. Just because the greens were receptive. Earlier in the week, they said it was the greens were really, really firm. Everything was bouncing, not checking up and rolling back. So with this wind drawing everything out, we'll see what happens here over the weekend. I think some scores are going to come back a little bit tomorrow. So,
well, we got
stinger and stay in it.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably tend to some bush lights on Saturday and find a cozy place to watch some of the golf action myself. So
for sure. And just, you hope that Tiger's in contention on the weekend. That just makes it 100 times better.
Oh, it does. Yeah. It'll blow up all over the place, TV wise and on the internet. So, all right, we're going to slide into the most recent mega deal that their wide receiving core just taking over the NFL right now. They've kicked out running backs. And I told you my prediction on how this is all going to play out over the, next few seasons, I think. But Diggs gets his deal. It's done in Buffalo because there was a lot of trade speculation. A lot of people Bills fans specifically, were starting to get a little worried. I had several people come to me and say, I think they're going to trade him. Like, I think the trade's coming. They didn't do it. They lock him up. 4 years, $104 million extension, 70 guaranteed. The intent from both sides, the Bills and Diggs camp, was to have him retire a Buffalo Bill. So that sounds, and according to his press conference today, that's exactly his plan. So, as I told you, it was also a good move for this season because it cleared up cap space for the current season, which the Bills going into Wednesday yesterday had $3.8 million left.
Yeah.
Not a lot to work with.
I know that situation well. Yeah.
So, with the Diggs mega deal, the dominoes continue to fall. Old Debo out in San Francisco removes all 49er stuff from his social media accounts, over 80 posts, I guess. Because he's next, right? Would he be next, we would assume? Or it sounds like he wants to be.
Yeah, he's due to be extended because he was the same draft class as Bosa, which obviously Bosa they're going to exercise the option on. I think, because I think this is Bosa's. This will be Bosa's 4th year.
I don't remember what year he got drafted. Yeah, I don't know what year he got drafted.
I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember what year it was. It was the year before they went to the Super Bowl. So
2018.
1, 2, 3. Yeah, this will be his 4th. Yeah, this will be his 4th year. So
he's the same draft class as Allen.
I believe no, he was the next year because Kyler Murray went 1 and Bosa went 2.
Oh, okay.
So he was the year after Allen.
So he's 2019 draft class.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's right. Yeah,
that makes sense. And then so Debo's like kind of,
and Debo was a 2nd round pick that year. Yeah, so
and he's after the money now.
He's due.
Yeah, he is up.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, because it said he's in the final year. It did say he's in the final year of his contract.
I could be wrong about this, but like as someone who follows, like I follow these guys on social media just because they're Niners. I would be kind of surprised if the Niners don't get something done with him. Like I don't think there's nothing I've seen that makes me think that he doesn't love being in San Francisco. Like there's just nothing I see that would hint that this was coming. I was actually surprised when you sent that to me that was the case. Because he's always pumping the team up and loving it.
But there's just no I don't see loyalty in any of these guys anymore. It doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah,
they just want paid.
I just don't think. I mean, I love Debo, but I do think that it's the way the Niners use him. Like, you're not going to go put him in a system and he's going to be, he's not going to be Stephon Diggs. Like, I don't think he's that kind of receiver where you just send him out there and say, hey, just go run routes. Like, you got to get the ball in his hands, run those options, use him as the running back. Like, he deserves to be paid. I really would be surprised if the Niners don't pay him, but it'll be interesting to see what he's looking for contract wise with the just numbers these guys are getting right now. Like, it's just insane. Like we said, Christian Kirk, $21 million. Like, I think Diggs was a steal. What's he, 17 to 26, depending on with his incentives. Like it's, I thought that was a steal for him.
Yeah, it can be, upwards to 104 million total. And I think that's with the incentives. Yeah.
So we'll see. I would just be shocked. I can't believe the 49ers would be dumb enough to let him go or let Bosa go. Like, you'll work it out. You got to remember Garoppolo's number still on that cap hit. Like they have $2 million in cap room, but that's with Jimmy's $27 million cap hit still. So they have money to spend. They're going to have to clear a little bit of it up, but I think something gets done. I'm not worried yet.
While we're talking contracts, another social media load of bullshit happened today, and this isn't the first time that she has done this. Rachel Bush, wife of Jordan Poyer, starts touting off about how Poyer and Micah Hyde are completely underpaid, and it's ridiculous. Geez. It's they've done so much for this team, they can't remain the low man all the time, and this isn't the first time. She did this before Poyer's last extension. She was running her mouth on Twitter about it. Meanwhile, they're on vacation in some rainforest because after she writes all this shit, she puts, anyways, just got back from a walk in the rainforest. It was awesome. We did it barefoot. And I'm like, why are you fucking on your phone then? Like, shut up. Right. Go out and enjoy go on your fucking nature walk and shut up. Like, just stirs the pot. She stirs the pot a lot. And Poyer never says anything. It's just always her. So I don't know if that's they got that worked out between them, or if Jordan, on the side's like, will you knock it the fuck off? Like, just shut up. I doubt it, though. I doubt it. But, yeah, so she went on about Micah Hyde and Poyer being underpaid. So hopefully that doesn't turn into some issue or losing either of those guys, because if their idea in the draft is to get one of these top corners, couple that with Tre'Davious White and Poyer and Hyde on the back end, that's a really good secondary. So I don't know. We'll see how it shakes out, but yeah, this offseason has been bananas. Like money, they're just throwing money around like left and right.
Well, the money's getting thrown around. The other thing that's kind of interesting to me, like, with Debo or even Diggs, like, obviously you could get the extension done with Diggs, so okay, that's fine. But like with Debo, if he's not going to come back, if he wants that much money, trade him, because teams are giving up stupid amount of picks.
Yeah, right.
Receiver. Don't lose him for nothing. Like, hey, whatever, send him down the road. Like, I hope they don't do that, but
But if he wants out, get something for him. Yeah. Don't just let him touch free agency. I agree with that, but
which that's what you saw with Adams and Hill. It was like, okay, they're not going to be back, so let's get something for him.
But what I think too, though, is like, think about the receivers in the draft the last few years and how every draft, like, it just seems like is getting deeper and deeper as far as receivers go, and that's why I do think that we're going to see this turn into what we had previously seen with running backs, where you're expendable. You become a dime a dozen. I'm not going to pay you a fuckload of money, because if any GM smart, he's going to realize that you still win football games the same way with a good quarterback. Pay your quarterback, pay the offensive line, pay the defensive line. That's who you need to pay.
Yep.
And
it's going to be interesting to see what, like, the say like the Packers and the Chiefs, what they do is versus like the Bills and the Raiders and the teams that are paying and going out and getting these guys, the Dolphins, who has more success. Because if you see the Chiefs and like the Packers do well this year and these other teams don't do so hot, this might be the end of it. That's going to be the end of paying people. They're just going to go draft guys, and this will be the last big boon on receivers, I think.
This is 100% the Les Snead model of NFL general managing.
Yep.
Fuck them picks.
That's can't blow the draft pick if you don't have any draft picks.
Yeah, that's fair. You know what you're getting for when you trade for somebody. That's just what I mean.
Yep.
That's kind of been my opinion with first rounders for a while, but now that the price of these guys that you're trading for is going through the roof, it's like, it's not worth it.
Exactly.
Take your guy and groom him. If you swing and miss, I mean, as long as you have those, like I said, you got your quarterback, you got a line on both sides of the ball, swinging and missing on, think about the Patriots, N'Keal Harry, they drafted him however many years ago, and it's still like, it hasn't worked out as a first rounder, but they've still had success regardless because of the other positions that they do have filled. But
exactly. Yep.
All right. I think that's all we got for the buzz. The buzz is brought to you by Busch Light. Latte aluminums are available wherever you buy your beer. You can opt for just the regular cans too, or the glass bottles. It all tastes delicious. So get on in, get yourself some latte aluminums or whatever you so please. We're going to take a short break and we'll be back with This Week in Sports History, Masters Edition.
Whenever you crack open a Busch Light, the mountain starts singing.
It's cold and it's smooth and it's waiting for you.
What is going on?
Hit it, Giant Kenny G.
It's so smooth.
Head for the mountains of Busch Light Beer.
Hi, this is Brian Hagberg, and I wanted to take a moment and tell you about our new website, yourdailylocal.com. Your Daily Local is your new home for news, sports, and events in Warren County and beyond. Our goal is to cover the people, places, events, and happenings that matter to you in a variety of ways, including writing, video, and audio. And the best part? All of our content is available for free. Head to yourdailylocal.com to get the news you need when you need it.
Let's take a look back at this week in sports history.
This Week in Sports History brought to you by Your Daily Local. Visit Your Daily Local for news you need when you need it. That's yourdailylocal.com. Did I say that? I don't remember. You ready for this?
Yep.
3 historic facts about the Masters. This is going to be a very short segment today. Number 1, the Masters was originally first known for 5 years, it looks like, as the Augusta National Invitational Tournament, prior to the word Masters being involved in it. It wasn't until 1939 that they switched it to what is we now know it as the Masters. Number 2, its first ever champ. Do you know this one? Do you know who won the first ever Masters?
I do not know who won the first ever.
Horton Smith.
Horton Smith.
Yep.
Sounds familiar. I must have known it at some point in time because otherwise I would never know that name.
Sounds like so that's like when they were using like just pieces of wood, right?
Basically, yeah, hickory shafts.
The game's evolved. What do you think like top drives looked
bit.
like in 1934?
Man, not very far.
Like 225.
I don't even think they went. I don't even know if they went that far. I think you're probably looking 180 to 200.
We'll have to look into that.
If I had to guess,
I should have looked that up, but I didn't think of that question until just now when we got into talking about the clubs a little bit.
I can't. Yeah, I can't remember, but I know it's not like, wasn't anything crazy.
Number 3, last but not least. In 1934, during the first ever, what we know as the Masters, then known as the Augusta National Invitation Tournament, they actually played numbers 10 through 18 were 1 through 9, and 1 through 9 was 10 through 18, as we know it now. They reversed all of that in the second year, 1935. Didn't see why they decided to do that, but yeah, the very first year of the Masters, 10 through 18 was played as 1 through 9, and then vice versa.
No kidding.
Yeah. So
didn't know that one either.
I did. I just looked up some Masters facts. Well, actually I got into I went as far back as I could, which was 1934. Oh, and actually in 1934, the very first ever tournament, it was on my birthday, March 22nd. So it was March 22nd, 1934.
No kidding.
I was negative 50 years old.
Not bad.
Not bad. First ever Masters. That's it, though. Do you got any historic facts about the Masters that you want to share?
I've got nothing good. Other than I think this year they were what was it, their peach ice cream sandwich they couldn't get this year. Supply chain issues. That's not really a sports history fact, but they've had the same menu for like, I don't know how many years, forever. Like $1 for a sandwich. It's great. $1.50 for a beer.
Oh yeah. Did you see the thing I shared on the
I don't know if I saw
Facebook
it.
page? The guy who had the stack of green cups like this high.
Oh yeah.
And
He's drunk on $20.
And I put, honey, I'm just going out for 1 or 2 beers, and it's just this guy standing there with a fucking stack of cups. Yeah, it was pretty awesome. It was a good photo. Chris Giordano, shout out. He's the one who posted that, and I got permission to steal it. Actually, I just told him I was going to steal it, so he didn't care. But great photo, though. It was funny. All right. This Week in Sports History brought to you by Your Daily Local. Visit yourdailylocal.com for the news you need when you need it. We're going to take a quick break, and we will be back with Sketty on.
Hey there, everyone. This is Phil with JP Photography. I know. A photography ad on a sports show? I get it. You're here for sports talk and listening to Joe and Sketty's insane rambling.
Wait, what?
But bear with me for a few. I just want to tell you that JP Photography not only offers wedding photography, but also does events, engagements, headshots, family photos, and even some product photography. Be sure to check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Just search for JP Photography or go directly to our website at johnphilphotography.com. That's JONPHIL photography.com.
Hey everyone, it's Sketty, and I want to give a shout out to Rocket Detailing in North Warren. They make it super convenient and easy to have your car detailed. It's a high quality detail at an affordable price. They came and picked up my truck, got all the winter shit off, and dropped it back off looking brand new. You spend so much time driving to work and running errands, why not make your commute a more pleasant one? Contact Rocket Detailing, 814-313-4462 to set up an appointment. Or give their Facebook page a follow if you want to see some shiny cars. Mention Beehive for 10% off your detail.
He's absolute trash.
Sketty on. Let's have a listen to what Sketty is on this week.
0% chance that works.
It still gets me every time. Well, this week's Sketty On is brought to you by Rocket Detailing. Again, you can reach them at 814-313-4462. Make sure to follow them on Facebook and mention us, the Beehive, for 10% off your next detail. The guy does phenomenal work. My dad is like impossible to please. He does my dad's vehicles, and he just like raves about him. So if he can please Big Dave, he'll please you too, I promise.
So we have to note now, since Phil is no longer the victim of your intro, that Rocket Detailing is not who Sketty's talking about when he says he's absolute trash. So we have to add that. We have to throw that disclaimer in first time, and then everybody knows the rest of the way. But so Phil got bumped up, and yeah, it's just All right, so what are we on?
We're on LeBron.
Oh yeah. All right, hold on. Cue the music. Go.
Well, this week we're going to talk about LeBron surpassing Tom Brady as the biggest sports douchebag of all time, which I know Brady just passed him the other week, so this seems kind of quick. But what a bum, sitting out when the Lakers need to win the game to stay in the playoff hunt, and he goes, "Oh, my little ankle was sprained." Princess LeBronda, Michael Jordan, you would have had to cut both of his legs off for him to not go out there in a must-win game. This is 100% the biggest bitch move in the history of freaking sports. He knew they weren't going to make the playoffs even if he did go out there. So he uses this little excuse that says, "Well, I was hurt. That's why we missed the playoffs. It has nothing to do with the fact that I got a bunch of old washed up guys that I think are good. And we traded all our good young talent away." Effing bum. Can't stand him. But say about that, because Tiger's on and life is good. You can't be mad about anything right now. It's a weak Sketty on this week. I apologize. Things are just too good. I don't know what to tell you.
I still thought it was good.
Thanks.
It was a good Sketty on because
it's hard to be
You're
fired
right,
up
though.
about anything right now.
Well, that's true, but you're right. about, and what did I tell you when you said what would Jordan have done? I said he would have went out there in a walking boot and still scored 50.
Oh yeah. There's just no I mean, they were barely hanging on anyway, but there's no way. I just can't stand the guy. I cannot stand the guy.
Yeah, me neither. But you know what? Story attached to this is not getting enough attention. Did you see
What's
who?
that?
So LeBron's asked, who else he would like to play with in the NBA, and he's zoning his sights in on Steph Curry.
Oh, I did see. Yep.
Did you see Steph Curry's response?
I did not see Curry's response.
Curry says, "Oh, really? Well, yeah, he does always pick me in the All-Star game. I don't know if that suffices, but right now I'm cool."
Well, I mean, the guy is a team. The guy's a team destroyer. I don't care what anyone wants to tell you. He's won 14. Yeah, the Lakers got their shitty bubble championship that no one gives a shit about other than Lakers fans and LeBron. But he's gonna leave. I don't think he's going to Golden State. I think he's going back to Cleveland because Cleveland has good young talent, and he's just gonna leave the Lakers a complete mess. The Lakers will be ruined for years.
I saw a stat
just
too
the Heat were ruined for years.
I saw a stat too that said they've missed the playoffs 12 years in their whole existence.
Yeah, it's a ridiculously low
and
number. Yeah.
7 of them have come since I don't know, whatever, past 10 years or something like that.
Yeah. It's just I don't know. I just I think the guy's just gonna hop. I think Cleveland. I think he's coming back to Cleveland. Cleveland's got a good young team. He's just gonna say it doesn't work, and then everyone will say, "Oh, look how terrible the Lakers are." As soon as LeBron left, yeah, because just like the Heat, he brought all these guys in, or the Cavs, he brings all these guys in and then leaves, and then they're just garbage because they have bad contracts. There's no depth. It's just I don't know. The guy's just the fake goat.
He destroys everything. All right.
It's just
That wrap it up?
Go ahead. That wraps it up. I guess I got to do the outro, huh? This is new, kids. We're working on this. This week's Getty On. Again, brought to you by Rocket Detailing. One more time, it's 814-313-4462. And don't forget to mention us, the Beehive, for 10% off your next detail.
All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll be back with the things that sting.
Jones Pest Control, your hometown pest control company servicing residential and commercial properties in Warren and surrounding areas since 2015. Sean and his crew will work tirelessly to keep your home or business free of insects to rodents and everything in between. Contact Jones Pest Control at 814-230-9548 and set up an appointment today. And remember, ants, spiders, bees, or mice, don't think twice. Call Jones Pest Control, 814-230-9548.
Checkout means sales and services with 2 locations on Warren's East Side. Their garage at 800 Lexington Avenue not only services cars sold by Means, but has knowledgeable staff and modern state-of-the-art equipment waiting to serve their hometown of Warren. Whatever you need, including alignments, tires, brakes, yearly or enhanced PA inspections, oil changes, and much more. Make your appointment today at 814-723-7191, extension 2.
It's now time for the things that sting. The worst stories in sports, according to Joe.
This edition of the Things That Stings, powered by Jones Pest Control. Ants, spiders, bees, or mice, don't think twice. Call Jones Pest Control at 814-230-9548. Get your appointment today. It is the season. He's going to be beginning here once the temperatures finally get above 60, maybe for more than one day. That's when he's going to be out and about, so get your appointment in. So we got some good ones today. And I know this one you were upset about because you think she's hot, but Hope Solo 40-year-old Hope Solo charged with DUI and child abuse by the Winston-Salem Police Department in North Carolina. She was reported by, a witness calls in, says she's been asleep in the car for an hour with the vehicle running. Her 2-year-old twin children were in the vehicle when police arrived. They wake her up, smell alcohol, bloodshot eyes. She refused testing, but a search warrant was obtained for her blood. Her next court date is June 28th. So, yeah, the child abuse obviously would be tacked on because of the children in the car while she was DUI. So, not looking great. And it's not Hope Solo's first run in with the police. I don't know if you remember this, but her husband's Jeremy Stevens. Do you remember him? The old NFL tight end.
Yeah.
And she was I think there was body cam of it where her Jeremy Stevens was being charged with a DUI. I think it was 2015. And she's in the background just screaming at the police for arresting him for DUI. So obviously there's some alcohol stuff going on in that family. And from what the statement she released is why I say that, because her and her lawyer released stuff saying that there's more to this and she wants to be heard and will be heard. And, the usual lawyer stuff that comes out after something like this happens. But so that one, as I said, next court date, June 28th. So we'll revisit that one there in the future. Next one, this is former. So if anybody ever says I'm biased, just remember this one, because Alex Carrington was a career Buffalo Bill, drafted by them, played 6 seasons, then was signed with the Texans and was cut before the season even started. Hasn't appeared in the league since. Alex Carrington, so he's 34 years old. He's still lives in the Buffalo area, Niagara County. He's pulled over by sheriff's deputies for speeding and no headlight. While police approach, they smell the odor of alcohol, start questioning him regarding that. Ask him to step out of the vehicle. He refuses. And not only does that, but actually turns the car back on, indicating that he's about to drive away. They end up ordering him out. He will not. They tase him, get him out of the car. There's body cam video of this, which I haven't watched yet, but read narrations of it. Prior to them getting him out of the car, a cover officer on the passenger side window observed a magazine, a pistol magazine in the driver's side door, in the pocket, and relays that to the officer who's there. So they're starting to think he has a gun in the car. Now now they definitely want to get him out of the car so that he's away from the gun, assuming it's not on his person. When they do get him out of the vehicle, he has a loaded Glock 17 underneath his leg of the seat he's sitting in. So under his thigh area, kind of tucked between the center console and his driver's seat. So they get the loaded Glock 17. 2 more high capacity magazines were found, which I haven't dug into completely, but I know that that's kind of I think high capacity magazines in New York's a giant no-no. I know it is in New Jersey, but I think New York as well.
Right.
So where am I at here? So his charges, which I had to get some help on these from a JPD officer, because New York's their gradings are just confusing to me because there's so many. And PA, right. I've said this 1,000 times, is simple. It's 1, 2, and 3. Felony 1, 2, and 3, misdemeanor 1, 2, and 3, and then summary offense. So there's literally 7 potentials. There's some ungraded, but so I guess more than 7. But so it's just easy for me. I understand that. I also work with it. But so New York, criminal possession of a weapon second is a C class felony. He's also charged with criminal possession of a weapon third, which is a D felony. So the dipshit bail reform that they have up there. Yeah. You know how you can basically do anything aside from murder and show up in court. Yeah.
See you later. Yeah. Here's your ticket.
These 2 charges actually do require bail be set. So he did go to jail, but was later released on bond. His other charges are resisting arrest, obstruction of justice, DUI, and several summary offenses. It has now been released too that the gun does not belong to him, which is also going to be I don't know if that's
It'd be
going to
a
add an
big no-no,
additional.
yeah.
Well, I don't know if it adds an additional charge or if it falls under one of those two, the C or D felony. I'm unsure on that. But he was actually due back in court today, so there was no like media update yet. But he was due back in court today, so we'll see what that's something I can probably look into for next week's show. On to the last before we get to the rundown. MLB in true fashion, every year this happens, so it's just like.
Yeah.
Just wait. You just wait for a couple days before you wait for a couple days before the season, and they hand out some suspensions. Pedro Severino, of the 4 guys who were suspended, Pedro Severino was the only one who was active on a roster. He was a catcher for the Brewers. The other 3, Richard Rodriguez, Jose Rondon, and Daniel Santana, all free agents. The 4 of them each got 80 games for the respective anti-doping policy, whatever you want to call it, for performance-enhancing drugs. So it was just like, it's just we just wait for that each year. But those are your lucky winners for 2022. So that brings us to the rundown. Music. Good. All right. Jerry Jones, his lawyer releases a statement saying that he's paid millions to the woman who has recently or one in the past who's accused him of mothering a child or whatever, but there's some adultery stuff going on. So Jerry Jones is dishing out money left and right to people, to nobody's surprise. This one's my favorite. Evansville Baseball. Okay, it's a Twitter account, obviously a team, but they have a Twitter account, pretty active Twitter account. A few people started sharing this video with no names attached to it, and it says father and son having a good time practicing some batting practice. They're in a cage. Dad's throwing, son's hitting. It doesn't note on the video who it is, but I'll tell you in a second who it is, because Evansville Baseball gets on there and starts critiquing the shit out of his swing. Oh, the launch angle, this, if you continue that, your average will be, between 150 and 200. Just going bananas about this fucking video, right?
Yeah.
It's Mike Trout in the batting cage. So all these people are like, it's Mike Trout. Even Mike Trout got in on the Twitter stuff and was like, yo, that's me, bud. Thanks for the tips, though. Because completely boom roasted Evansville Baseball. Because source Mike Trout. This one's kind of sad, actually. Luke Matthews, son of Hall of Fame offensive lineman Bruce Matthews. If you remember Bruce Matthews in the Houston Oilers days, him and Bruce Smith used to match up against each other, and it was a well-documented rival between those two individual players. His son Luke medically retires from Texas A&M as a college offensive lineman, where he had several injuries stacking up, and he takes medical retirement. So that's a shame, because anybody with that last name who ends up an offensive lineman, kind of like he has like 4 kids, and I think a few of them are Jake, and them are all in the league. So it's a shame for him. Next one up, a youth basketball ref receives 30 stitches after he's attacked by an entire team of 8th graders at Stronghold Christian Church in Georgia. So, Church League basketball hosting AAU games, and this ref just gets jumped by the team who is upset with his calls. So, good stuff. That's a misdemeanor 1 in Pennsylvania, in case you're wondering. Assault on a sports official is its own charge, has its own section.
I did not know that. It's not
yeah.
just a regular assault.
You can. I mean, you would charge simple assault, but you would tack on assault on a sports official. It's like a bonus, because if they're attacked in the realm of their duties, it even says that in the section. If it's attacked based off of what took place during a sports event, then it's a fucking another crime. So that's being investigated. Probably going to be a shitload of kids on juvenile probation down in Georgia. Who the hell knows? Last but not least, 6 state attorney generals sent a letter of warning to NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell saying that there could be an investigation and possible lawsuits on the NFL if they don't look at the mistreatment of female employees. The states involved are New York, Illinois, Massachusetts, Minnesota, Oregon, and Washington. So 6 states come forward with a threat, basically. They call it a letter of warning, but I take it as a threat.
Why am I not surprised by that list of states?
Well, I wasn't going to say it, but I'm glad you did.
Like, I'm just saying, why am I not shocked?
Yeah, I'm not either. But yeah, so they send the six states, and I don't know what will come of that or if the NFL will respond.
Is there what's going on? Is there a backstory to why?
I'm sure it all revolves around Dan Snyder.
Well, yeah, okay. So if it's a Dan Snyder, hey, there's something going on here, then yes, there should be.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance because this was 20 minutes before showtime while I was scurrying to just write stuff. And I didn't get a chance to but there is you can see the letter and they do outline different stuff. I don't know if they get into specifics. I could look into that because that could have actually probably made the top 3 stories kind of a big deal instead of the rundown.
Yeah.
But so maybe we'll revisit that one and I'll look into it a little bit more and I'll see if it's worth a fuck. And if it is, then we'll talk about it next week. But yeah, so that's the things to sting this week. Satisfied?
Satisfied.
All right. This edition of the Things That Sting, powered by Jones Pest Control. Ants, spiders, bees, or mice, don't think twice. Call Jones Pest Control at 814-230-9548. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with getting into some pro sports scandals, and we're going to read through some of the comments that came on the Facebook page and maybe talk about it, a couple of them a little bit more in depth. See you in a few. Blue Line Auto, located at 1606 Pennsylvania Avenue East in Warren, is locally owned and operated and is a family-run business specializing in vehicle sales and service. They offer state and safety inspections and general car repairs, including but not limited to brakes and rotors, tires, oil changes, batteries, starters, and alternators. They also offer vehicle undercoating prior to winter to help keep your vehicle protected. Currently, their hours are Monday through Wednesday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., and Thursday and Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call them today to schedule your next appointment at 814-230-9061. Your safety is their goal.
Hi, this is Ryan Klein, the host of the new pop culture podcast, Me, Myself, and Rye. You can find me on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and several other platforms. Special guests, breakaway shows, bonus episodes, cold beers, and a whole lot more. So what are you guys and gals waiting for? Subscribe now to the Me, Myself, and Rye podcast on Spotify or wherever it is that you get your shows and start listening today.
My High, Joe and Sketty's very own world of sports.
My Hive is presented by Blue Line Auto. For all your automotive needs, call Blue Line Auto at 814-230-9061 or stop in at 1606 Pennsylvania Avenue East in Warren. All right, so we got into, I put a post up. This was kind of late, but we still actually got quite a few comments on it, which was cool because it was very last minute. But something I did want to bring up because I probably catch a rash of shit from people if I don't. Carlos Beltran comes out and starts discussing the Astros cheating scandal from 2017, where he openly admits that, they were wrong for doing what they did and says they took it too far, and then kind of discussed the punishments a little bit. So that being now that he's working for, I think it's the Yes Network, the Yankees channel, but I have to be careful what I say because I'm still under my oath from October 22nd of 2021, where I'm not allowed to badmouth the Yankees. So it's at like six more months. I got to go. We're almost to the halfway point. And yeah, in 15 days, 15 days we'll be at the halfway point. And then Darren's going to celebrate that day. He's probably got marked in his calendar because then I'll stop fucking with the Dodgers so much. It's true.
Yeah.
That's just what it is. I desperately want to be saying things about the Yankees. However, I cannot. So we got into what we did was we put a post up there on the Facebook page saying what are some of the scandals, that you think are some of the worst scandals, and we got a lot of different ones, so it's pretty cool. But first, Sketty, what do you think? Like, what's yours? And then I'll actually get into mine a little bit. And
I was looking at the Facebook list, so there's some good ones on there. So I'm going to go with one that's kind of like out of the blue that I just learned about last night, actually. I don't know if we would call it a scandal so much, but out for beers with the guys, and we're talking about Tiger Woods and, the different equipment that he used throughout his career and stuff. And I had no idea that apparently when he signed with Nike, the Nike irons that he was using were actually Mizuno irons that they just took and put a Nike stamp on because the Nike product was so fucking bad that he's just like, yeah, I'm not playing these. So they took Mizuno. Yeah. So I don't know if they like paid Mizuno to do that. Like Nike kicked them money or what? I had no idea. I should have researched this more after the topic came up, but yes, he was playing Mizuno irons.
Tiger was
stamped with a Nike logo. Tiger was, yeah. Because like now you can buy he's like tailor-made everything. You can buy the actual TW tailor-made irons. But back then you could never buy the irons that Tiger was using because they were actually Mizuno's, not Nike irons. So like you couldn't go just buy one, or buy them.
So we don't know if it was Nike who's like, dude, our fucking clubs suck. Get those and just put our logo on them.
Well, I think that Tiger said, I'm not playing this dog shit. Because I remember he played, couldn't remember the name of the driver, but it was like this big blue monstrosity, and he just couldn't hit the thing. Like he hated it. I think he actually ended up switching back to Titleist after that. Like he was just like, I can't play this thing.
That's interesting.
But the reason it came up, because did you see this week that Tiger's wearing FootJoy shoes, not Nike shoes? And when he was asked about it, he said, I need the stability. Like, Nike just doesn't have a product that's stable enough with my bad legs. So like he said, we're still working with Nike, and Nike's working on making a shoe that will, work for him right now with his injury situation, which just blew my mind. Like, this is like your biggest athlete maybe of all time after Michael Jordan. Like, how did you not just copy a FootJoy shoe? Like, how did you not figure this out months ago? It blows my mind. But yeah, so that's how it came up.
I'm taking some notes here, and what I think we're going to do is we're going to list some of these scandals that are super kind of in-depth and maybe interesting, and maybe we'll have sports history like scandal month, and we'll just go through past scandals a little bit. I think that's a good idea. So
yeah.
All right, Tiger clubs. I wrote that one down. Yeah, I definitely want to look into that.
Yeah,
so
I wanted to look into that more. I forgot.
So just looking at some of them here.
Well, Darren just said here. Darren just brought this up too, that he quit using Nike's balls, and he uses Bridgestone now, which is true, because Nike quit making golf equipment. They might still make balls, I'm not sure, but there was a rumor that for a while he was playing a Bridgestone ball just stamped with a Nike symbol on it too. That's what the guy said last night. Didn't look into that one. Like he basically was just like, your equipment sucks.
All right, so I'm just gonna add Nike to that so I remember what to look at. Also, Sketty, could you please, in regards to the Yankees, could you please read this comment for me?
Oh, yes. Todd Bowersox brought up, Yankees suck. You're welcome.
All right.
For you, Joe. That's for you.
Yeah, I couldn't read that one out loud, so thank you, Sketty, for taking care of that one for me. So I'm going to get Brian Lastman. This is one that I'm probably going to say is one of my, favorite, I guess, if it's most interesting to me. And we already covered it in a past episode. I don't even remember when. I'd have to look back, but it was an episode a long time ago. Tanya, he says, how about Tanya Harding? So that to
yeah.
me
Yep,
is
that's
one of the
crazy
most
one.
wild, like, yeah. And that one goes like super in depth to where there's meetings
Yep.
and people involved, like, yeah, just some like shady ass dudes involved, and the trouble that came with that. Maybe I'll if we ever want to revisit that, I could probably rip the audio from that past episode and just upload it, and we can, add that in there. So let's go look at some more of these. Black Sox were on here a couple times. The 1919 Black Sox scandal. So that, obviously Shoeless Joe and Kevin Costner's dad.
The mob. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
All those guys kicked out.
Yeah.
SMU and SMU we went over the other day. That was right, or not the other day, but
yeah,
a few weeks ago.
Couple weeks ago. Yeah.
Yeah, we got into
SMU was a good one. Yep, that's a good scandal.
The football booster scandal, and then ASU point shaving. We have Andy Tukonchuk. Tim Zaffino has two. He said the paid off French judge in figure skating in the Olympics who gave gold to the Russians. I haven't looked into that.
Yep.
I don't know a lot about that one, but that would be one. I'm gonna put that on here too. French judge.
I can't remember if there was I think Netflix has like a hour-long documentary on that. Or 2 hour long one. On Netflix, I think you can get on and watch it. It's part of, I can't remember the name of it's like a little kind of like mini series almost of like different scandals, which I think the Arizona State point shaving scandal was in that little series too.
Yeah. I forget what the name of it is.
I can't think of what the heck it's called.
I need to watch that because that could be good for this if we if we change sports history to a couple months of like straight sports scandals. I mean, it's still history, right? So we're still tackling that. Yeah. It's just not maybe not that week, but whatever. We're flexible.
Yeah.
Tim Donaghy, that one's awesome. And actually, he did a really good interview on Pardon My Take where he actually got into like the details of that. So that's one that I would definitely be interested in learning more about because I did watch that. And what I do recall from that interview too is like what he would say is that the NBA as a league would have officials meetings like almost weekly, and each week they would target kind of something that they're like, hey, this is going on a little bit too much. We want you to start calling it. And Tim knew which refs would go into that realm of thinking and which ones would kind of stay independent and just call the game as they saw it, not listen, forgo what the NBA had to say. And he basically that's how he would make his wagers. Like he would say, this is what's happening. Hey, just so you know, this is what they're going to be calling a lot in this game. You're probably going to get 25, 30 more free throws in this game than you are in this game. So just something to keep, just stuff like that. So we'll dig into that one too, because that one's always been interesting to me as well. Tim Zaffino. Yeah, the other one he had was Ray Caruth killing his baby mama, then driving through Tennessee with her body in the trunk.
Yeah, I don't know if that one's so much a scandal, but
that's just murder.
Yeah, it's just murder. Yeah.
That's just murder.
But yes, that was a wild one. Yep.
But still, yeah, that's another story that we should bring up sometime because that could go into sports history as well. So I'll write that one down because I don't know a lot about that case. Do you? I remember like when it happened. I remember his mugshot. Like I can see his mugshot in my head, but I don't like know too much about the details of it. Like even
like she was like, I think she was pregnant, or maybe, I think she was pregnant because the kid has like he had major issues because he was like whatever, premature, or because
they saved the baby.
To, like, deliver him. Yeah, kid's alive. Yeah.
No shit.
Or was alive. The grandmother was taking care of him. But he was like, yeah.
Scott Arthur, New Orleans Saints Bounty Gate. That's a good one. Bounty Gate's a good one.
That's a good one. Yep.
Greg Williams. Didn't Sean Payton get suspended a year for that, I think?
Yeah. Sat out a year. Yep.
And there's like audio. Remember the audio that came out of like locker room where he was like, if you kill the head, the body will die.
Yep.
And he was the Bills coach for a while.
Yeah.
Clearly,
He should've-
whatever he was preaching that in Buffalo, it didn't fucking work because they were terrible.
He was the Browns coach after that. When they fired Hugh Jackson? Like Baker's rookie year?
No, was he?
Yeah, he was the interim coach. And then at the end of the year, like they were actually good. And then they were like, nah, sorry, Greg, we're gonna hire Freddie Kitchens instead. We're gonna promote him. You can be the defensive coordinator still. And he was like, nah, I'm real good. Because I thought for sure, I was like, they're gonna have to give this guy a head coaching job. Like the team was good. They got better.
And
just nope. Yeah. Just nope, we're gonna go with Freddie Kitchens, and then they were just trash.
So that one's kind of a big deal. You know, nobody on here at all mentioned New England except for Bobby Pring, and he just put the scandal of how the Patriots think they're a contender this year in the AFC.
I was surprised I didn't see
nobody.
New England's got like Deflategate. They got the
Spygate,
taping practices. Yeah,
Spygate.
Like, they've got 3. No one brought them up. Blows my mind.
Yeah, the Astros do it, and the world comes crashing down. New England does it, and nobody gives a shit.
It's because no one wants to hate on Tom Brady and call him out for the cheater piece of shit that he is. I'm one of however many people are on the planet. 7 billion.
What?
But
one of one in your category.
Yeah, I am.
Well, I mean, and he did. He like smashed a cell phone, and
accidentally broke it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Tom.
Like he destroyed evidence.
No, forget about that. Yep. No one cares about that.
Scott Arthur says because no one likes the Astros. Well, who the fuck likes the Patriots?
Even better question.
Riddle me that, bud. Because I don't think anybody. If there's a more hated team pre either one of them cheating, I would still think people hated New England more.
There has to be
the world kind of loved Houston during the World Series run before the cheating because of Hurricane Harvey. They got displaced. You know, there's a lot of people in Houston displaced. The Astros had to play home games in Tampa at that fucking pile of shit stadium. I bet that Tropicana, the Dome, that place makes Highmark in Buffalo look like fucking like LA's new stadium. It's bad. That is one of that's the worst structure I've ever been in that sports are played in, is hands down Tropicana Field.
No kidding.
I was in a wedding in Florida and while we were there, Houston just happened to be in town. Like it just matched up. And I met my buddy Thompson and we went down to we met in St. Pete and went down and watched a game at the Trop, and it was like gross. Like
pretty rough, huh?
No, it's like the ceiling's like low. It's weird. It's fucking weird. Darren, I've been to Minute Maid Park, and it's a nice place to watch a game. Yes, it is. I've been there 3 times. Very first time being World Series Game 3 in 2017 when Hugh Darvish was letting fucking Yuli Gurriel just take him deep every time he wanted to. It was awesome. But of course, it sounds like he knew what pitch was coming, so I guess it wasn't very difficult. Although Hugh Darvish, it was noted during that, so we're talking that scandal now. Hugh Darvish was like outed for tipping his pitches during the World Series too. Like somebody noticed.
I remember that, yeah.
And there was a story about that too. So on top of them knowing what's coming, he was confirming it.
He's trying to tell him.
Yeah. So it is what it is, you know. Yeah. See, Darren even admits he was tipping pitches. So the Astros weren't cheating; they're just smart, and your pitcher's an idiot. That's what it came down to. Another scandal that was mentioned by Todd Bowersox, the PSU Sandusky scandal. So that's probably one of the biggest, well-known, well-documented ones because that's fucking insane. And we mentioned
that.
Go ahead.
We should do a deep dive on that sometime because I still like. I'm not defending Penn State, but the story, I cannot make myself believe the story as they tell it is what happened. Like cannot wrap my head around the fact that what the hell was the ginger's name?
Oh,
I can't even think of the guy's name now.
Yeah, I can't either.
Was it McQuarrie?
McQuarrie.
Mike McQuarrie? Yeah.
Yeah.
I just can't. I can't fathom that he walked in the locker room, saw what he claims he saw, and just thought to himself, "I'm going to call my dad. That's what I'm going to do. That's how we're going to figure this out. Dad, what do we do? Like, are you fucking shitting me?
Yeah.
That's what your course of action was? Like, I just don't, like, that part just makes no sense that it happened. Like, I don't believe McQuarrie at all. That's where I guess I'm at. Like, I don't believe that it happened.
So,
you went and told people in explicit detail, this is what I saw, and they were just like, well, okay,
no problem. Yeah, I agree. I agree to a point. I agree. The other thing too is, of course, now take this for what you will, because a lot of people will. But one person who has done a deep dive into this and listened to several radio shows about it and everything is California. And California,
yeah, I'm sure. Yep.
Well, and I always take note that he is a huge Penn State fan.
Yeah.
And
yep.
But he also says, the stuff that he's learned about the case and everything, and all the listening he's done, is that he's kind of where you are. Like, there's a lot that doesn't add up.
That's the one thing I thought, is it just never makes sense. Like, there's no way you can make me believe that you went to whoever it was, the AD Paterno, and said, hey, I saw this guy, raping this kid in the shower. You did nothing about it other than leave and call your dad. You told him that that's exactly what you saw, and they thought, no problem. Like, I can see that, hey, he thought something was going on, or maybe saw something and then didn't, like, he said, well, I don't know what I saw. I think I saw something inappropriate. Like, he laid it on thin to him, maybe. Like, it just doesn't, I don't think we're getting the whole truth. I guess that's where I'm at. Just, I can never wrap my head around that. Like,
I think something happened. Something definitely happened.
I agree. I
don't know that I believe that it's as, like, well known and as hidden as people are making it seem. That part I'm with, because everybody knew. And what article or news story did we talk about last week where I was quoting somebody and they said something that it was just like, holy fuck, you're so guilty. Do you remember? It was last week. I said,
was it you're talking about Deshaun Watson?
Yes, maybe it was Deshaun.
Like, his
I don't remember, but some quote. Yeah, it was Deshaun. You're right, but I don't remember exactly what the quote was. But it takes me back to what I said that reminded me of, which is when Sandusky does his press conference, which his lawyer was probably like, no, like, as he's saying these words, because he literally says the question is posed to him, are you sexually attracted to little boys? And he hums for a minute and then repeats the question out loud. Like, you do not need to think about the answer to this if you're not.
Exactly.
You just say no. You probably hard no it with like a fuck no. And, you move on from there. But he didn't. He's like, am I? Kind of fucking sounds like it when you do that. Like, like I'm.
Yeah.
We always, the police joke when something obvious happens is we'll all say, well, I'm no detective.
Right.
And this is a prime example. Well, Mr. Sandusky, I'm no detective. However, it appears as though you were definitely attracted to little boys, and that's disgusting. And now he's where he belongs. So yes, something definitely happened.
Yeah, absolutely.
Was it as in depth? I don't know. Maybe. I doubt it. I doubt California would come on and talk about it, because it's not a very popular view that he has, and he's not defending Sandusky. He's defending some of the other people. And so maybe he would, maybe he wouldn't. If he won't, I'll just have him educate me and maybe point me in the direction of what he listened to, because that one could take a while to write, and that could be a long segment because there's a fuckload of information that comes on with all of that, Correct, Ed.
Yeah.
Patrol sergeant, no detective.
Yeah, it's just I again just it just doesn't ever. I've never been able to make myself say this all adds up as the way they're telling it. Like, obviously Sandusky was guilty. My question is, how much did the school know? Like, how much do they actually know? Like, or did it, is McQueary just burying them? That's always been my question.
We always rag on Scotty Reynolds because he went to that football camp and he has a picture.
Yeah, I know.
You ever seen that picture?
With him? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So funny.
Yeah.
He claims nothing happened, so that's good. Trying to look through a couple more of these before we call it a night. The steroid era in baseball. Oh, yeah, go ahead with that one. I don't know a lot about that.
I say, Danny Almonte, you don't remember that?
I don't, but I looked it up.
Little League World Series, like, this kid was pitching and just absolutely dusting people. Like, I think he had a perfect game during the Little League World Series. Like, he's just dusting kids.
Who
like,
did
he
play
was
for?
A phenom. And then I don't remember if it was. I don't know if he played on one of the American teams or if he played for like Puerto Rico or something like. I don't remember who it was. But
somebody in the comments is going to beat me to this, but I'm going to look it up.
Yeah, he just absolutely was dusting kids, and like everyone was just, oh my gosh, he's a phenom. This is so great. Then it turns out he's like 15 years old. They forged his birth certificate.
I'm looking now.
That's like the joke. I can't remember what movie it is, like Bench Warmers or something like that, where they got the giant adult guy playing with the kids. I need to see your birth certificate. It's just a piece of paper with crayon written. I am 12.
Little League World Series. So let's see here. Oh, he played for a team from Bronx. So he was on
okay, yeah, that's what I
American
thought.
team.
I thought it was, yeah.
He's from the Dominican, but he played from
the Dominican.
So how old was he? So this was in 2001.
I want to say he was like 15.
He was 12 when he got to the Bronx. Yeah, he threw
He was not 12 when he played in the Little League World Series.
Amani threw a no-hitter and also threw threw a no-hitter and a perfect game and a one-hitter.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. He was just absolutely dusting kids.
62 strikeouts. 62 strikeouts out of 72 batters faced. This is fucking hilarious.
Yep.
All right, writing this one down.
Yeah, he's gem. Yeah, that's a good one. I think I don't know if Tori said it. So a couple people said it, and I was like, "Yep, that's a really good one."
It's like when, who is it? Giancarlo Stanton was formerly Mike Stanton.
Yeah.
Remember when I learned that, and I was just dying. I thought that was the funniest shit I've ever heard. This is funny though. So they.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, he was they believed he was 12. Birth certificate. So he was He was actually 14.
Yeah.
And just throwing smoke.
Oh, he just dusting kids. I just remember being young and watching that and just like, holy shit, this guy.
That's pretty cool. That's a good story. Yeah.
Cool.
So Danny Almonte. What else we got? Oh, steroid era. Which, see, this is my theory on why. First of all, and this is not me talking poorly about the Yankees, but this is just some truth. The Yankees there's still a fight for this sealed letter to be opened by Major League Baseball that has to do with a cheating scandal involving the Yankees. And I think it was like 2018 or 2019, or maybe it was 2017, but it was the time that they got caught using, the Red Sox got caught with the Apple Watches and the dugout phone was being used by the Yankees, or vice versa, maybe on those two items. But it was when that happened, and it kind of just got swept under the rug a little bit. Now there's a sealed letter that like names more detail and player names, which is why the Yankees fought so hard with MLB to this federal judge saying this shouldn't be open because it's going to tarnish some names. And that fight is still ongoing. So we may end up seeing that letter. But my point is, the steroid scandal, I think, set the table for why the Astros scandal was handled the way it did, to where it was like
Yeah.
a lot of people would argue it was a slap on the wrist and not, the GM and the GM gets fired, Jeff Lunau, AJ Hinch fired, Alex Cora from Boston gets let go. Carlos Beltran just got a job as the Mets head coach before he even coaches a game. He gets let go. So those guys all, held accountable, no player suspensions. So the reason I think, my personal opinion, is why it went that way. They say it's because of cooperation. I think it's because the MLB has basically officially moved on from the steroid scandal. And it took a long fucking time for that to happen. Ratings down, players weren't as good. You didn't have like the crazy amount of star power that the league is back to right now, where damn near every team has their one guy, and several teams have more than one who could make it. You could make an argument for that they're a star MLB player. If you look roster to roster, even fucking the Pirates are paying somebody now. That means shit's turning around. So
it's looking up.
Brian Hayes, whoever he is, that guy. I'm still thinking they just pulled a name out of a hat and they're like, he's the one.
Pay him.
Pay him and make it look like we're investing in our team, because everybody knows they aren't. But no, that's what I think, though. I think that the steroid era had officially been crushed. You got, Mike Trout and Tatis, and now you got Shohei Ohtani, and you got Vlad Guerrero's kid, Bo Bichette. You look at all the older players who have kids in the league now, and like things were on the upswing for Major League Baseball. And then this Mike Fiers goes and fucking touts off because he was pissed off he got left off the World Series roster, is what it came down to. My opinion. But because nobody can convince me that he's just that good of a guy. Like, he's just
yeah.
I'm
gonna come clean.
Yeah, fuck off. He's a lying piece of shit. But anyways, I think that they cleared themselves from that time. And when this came down, they're like, they all had like flashbacks of how shitty things went, and continues to go, because the only time we bring up steroids now is when Hall of Fame talk is around, because there's all these guys on the ballot who they won't let in. And that's the only time it gets brought up. It's not like throughout the course of the season you're talking about it. Occasionally you get a guy, big name or not, who gets whacked for the PEDs, but it's not that there's so much shit on that list now that it doesn't even necessarily mean that it's a performance enhancing drug. It's just something that's not on the approved list by MLB that a doctor recommends to them. And I do believe that happens, because these guys they know the repercussions at this point. They don't, there's no way you can convince me that any of them are going to be like, oh, we can get away with this. They just don't know. They don't know the rules. The doctor prescribes something, they take it, bam, 80-game suspension, and that's what it is. But so I think having that conversation only coming around, no way. I just got completely interrupted. Ed Fox says, Hayes' contract, 8 years, $70 million, and he hurt his wrist in the first inning today. Maybe he hurt it signing the contract. Did he really he got hurt? Because I gotta see that. That is great. That's Pirates baseball, baby. What they do. But anyways, like I was saying, that's in a nutshell my point, though, is that I think they were over. They had the steroid era in the rearview mirror, and then now they're at a point where this Astros scandal comes up, and they just want to handle it as cleanly and as lightly as possible, so not to go into another drought of fans watching, attendance, and just negative talk that surrounds the sport. So that's just my opinion on it. I don't know. But a couple in the comments here. Todd says the 30 for 30 the other night, Doc Gooden and Darryl Strawberry. That's something writing down, because Darryl Strawberry has some wild ass stories. I think Doc Gooden does too. Yes. But they used to like hook up with chicks out behind, like when you go down the tunnel of the dugout in between innings. I've heard that. So I'm gonna write that one down because that's a good one to also look into in the future. Scott Arthur, USC, and Reggie Bush. Yeah, and we could couple that with Terrell Pryor. There's multiple college athletes who before pre-NIL were making money off of their name, image, and likeness in other ways, whether it was I think Pryor was like trading memorabilia for tattoos, wasn't he?
Yeah. Bunch of the Ohio State guys were. Yep.
The one thing they have in common is none of them were very good when they got into the pros.
Accurate.
So
accurate.
All right. I don't have anything else. Do you?
No, I don't think so.
We're wrapping her up. Shout out to the sponsors: Swing Juice, Busch Light Beer, Your Daily Local, JP Photography, Rocket Detailing, Jones Pest Control, Blue Line Auto, Me, Myself, and Rye Podcast. Thank you guys all for making the show possible. Thank you to everybody in the comments, all the listeners. You make it interactive and fun, so we appreciate you every week being in. Josh, throwing up a quick last comment. Pirates lost 9-0 already. Did they? I got the scoreboard up here. Sure did. Strong start to the season for the Bucks. 9-0 loss to the Cards. So, all right. Thanks everybody for listening. Todd says, good show, guys. Thank you, Todd. Appreciate it. Thanks for joining us and getting in the comments. We love the interaction. It makes it, like I said, off the cuff, a little bit more fun for us. We're trying to write the least amount of notes as we can. And if we have people in the comments talking, it makes it easier for us. However, then we forget shit and rely on Stat Guy Darren to come up big for us. So, all right, everybody. Till next week. Take care.